What type of communication is this? Is this your communication person? Yes, that's right, you heard that, and yes, it's as stupid as it sounds at face value. It is an obvious greedy tactic that will backfire surely and is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard of. What's up, Rockstars? Welcome to another news update. I have CMON's next Kickstarter announcement. It involves Marvel, so stay tuned for that. We got a host of other things to do, some silly things companies are doing, brand new games to announce. We got it all, let's get to it. Thank you to my channel sponsor Into the AM. As a company that believes hard work and a great product is a proper way to conduct business, I am delighted to have them as part of the channel. They have some of the coolest graphic t-shirts around and an absolute best fit and feel that has continually exceeded my expectations. With new shirts arriving all the time and other products like boxers, hats, and even a monthly shirt club, I wholeheartedly recommend them to you. Check out the link in my description of this video for an exclusive 10% off everything they sell. Right off the bat, I'm not going to keep you waiting. We're going to go over CMON's next Kickstarter game, but just as an FYI, there are chapter, section, header, timestamp thingies down below on YouTube's video player. Go ahead and use those. And of course, a link to everything I'm discussing plus way more in the description. All right, with that out of the way, Spin Master Games and CMON have announced Marvel United Multiverse. That'll be their next Kickstarter campaign. I am assuming, obviously, that it'll be Q1 2023. I would expect a January release. Typically, CMON announces their next Kickstarter like this these days a couple weeks in advance, about a month in advance. So I would assume mid to late January we're going to get this. Once we have an exact date, though, I will let you guys know, so stay tuned for that. Subscribe if you want more news updates. I have them all the time. Speaking of which, let's talk about Vampire the Masquerade, Milan, Uprising. This is a World of Darkness, Vampire the Masquerade style game on the Teberu system. If you don't know what the Teberu system is, it is this. It is essentially a board that has all these different location marker things that it can tell where miniatures are and stuff like that, where tokens are even. Depends on, kind of what it wants to do. The dice have a microchip in there. So you're rolling dice and you're moving around, and the app that runs the game knows where everything is and can run things for you, do things depending on where you're at, stuff like that. I covered this in depth with the previous one, The Bad Karmas and the Curse of the Zodiac. Feel free to check that out on my channel. I'll try to link it down below if I recall. If not, let me know. I'll update the description. Sure, why not? But anyway, this should be quite good. The Bad Karmas was a boss battler. I don't feel like it used the AI it could use in a video game efficiently, but that doesn't mean this won't work well for somebody who does want to use it better, or for a narrative game like this. So that's actually kind of appealing and should keep the cost down, because unlike a boss battler, you don't necessarily need a lot of minis. In fact, you see here, there's not a whole lot. Looks like for the most part, at least now, you have your characters and a whole bunch of tokens and a board that you're kind of moving around in. So should be pretty interesting. That's on GameFound. That'll be coming out again, obviously sometime next year. Stay tuned for that. And again, it's linked down in the description below. And I'll cover more as we find out more. Just like this. This is a new dev diary for Batman Escape from Arkham Asylum. If you don't know what that is, it's essentially you play as villains in Arkham Asylum trying to escape while Batman hunts you down to murderize you, or just dislocate your hip and break 3 ribs and puncture your lungs. And then put you back in and then lock up. But it's not just that. In fact, they show here, for instance, you're going to be fighting the Warden, Arkham Guards, Shock Guards, all kinds of these different adversaries, as they call them. This is all about the cards, going from the actual card of your character to crafting with different organics and metals and stuff like that. Feel free to read it. Again, it's linked down in the description below. Just to learn a bit more about the game. I really appreciate dev diaries, and I very much appreciate dev diaries on the campaign page. This is one of the benefits of GameFound. Kickstarter doesn't really allow you to do very much when it comes to that. Their preview page is just that, though they can do more legit preview pages, and that is probably what Kickstarter needs, what more people need to do on Kickstarter. GameFound updates it a little bit differently, where it's actually in an update section. So feel free to click that update. There's actually several, so you won't just see everything, but it's really nice to be able to do that. So definitely one of the benefits there. So feel free to check that out. And by the way, go ahead and follow it, because you'll get this guy for free. So why not get Bane? Now let's talk about something stupid. Ludus Magnus Studio. So they have done this before, and I've called it out on how stupid it is before, and I will do it again now. You can get a Kickstarter ticket to late back Runar for €10. Yes, that's right, you heard that, and yes, it's as stupid as it sounds at face value. It is an obvious greedy tactic that will backfire surely and is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard of. See, one of the reasons why you would lock a Kickstarter, why you would lock a pledge manager down is because of rapid development or scope like lockdown. In other words, for instance, Townsfolk Tussle. That was locked down because the team behind it wanted to have a reduced scope. They didn't want some mega, thing that they had to do as a small team first-time developer. Makes total sense. But if you're not that, if you're Ludus Mana Studio and have been doing a whole bunch and have done way larger stuff, you want your pledge manager open because everybody that can come in is great. I just got done talking with a developer and they agreed, and I've seen this in many others and talked to them about this, that a pledge manager can almost or sometimes even exceed the funding of the Kickstarter. You can double the amount of money because people are upgrading different things. And normally bigger ones with a lot of expansions do this. But sometimes collectible items, stuff like that can work too. People upgrade to the all-in or add extra expansions, or long PMs do this as well. Or just more people come in. In other words, maybe you were live for 14 days, and in that 14 days, X amount of people knew about your game even to go look at it. Well, now, when it's on a pledge manager for 3 months, Y amount of people are new to it and can still come in. So you want it to be open and available. By charging $10, that is just ridiculous. And look at this. Not only that, but they even have it listed funny. 87 in stock, but it can be back ordered. So it's like, whatever. I'm assuming they started at 100, so they didn't make a whole lot. This $10, first of all, I don't know if it's credited, but even if so, it's still stupid. It serves zero purpose, especially if it's credited. If you get that $10 in the pledge manager when you get in there, then why not just let it for free? What does that even do? Is it just a sunken cost fallacy? Well, I don't know. I don't know if they're just trying to make it to where you feel like you're already $10 in, so you have to do it. Kind of like the anti-$1 pledge, right? Where people are trying to make it to where you can't do the $1 to get into the pledge manager, so that you feel like you have to because you're stuck in there with some money that you'll lose. I don't know if it's just that or what, but if it's going to open up anyway, then it should just be open. If it's not, then it's stupid to close it off to people. You're going to lose money, not gain money. One of the stupidest things I've ever seen, and I will call it flat out stupid every time I see it. I think it doesn't make any business sense. I don't think it makes any moral sense. I just don't think it makes any sense. I don't know what they're on. I don't know what they're smoking and drinking and taking their medicine all at once, but cut out 2 or 3 of those. It's dumb. It's dumb. Sorry, I haven't been like that in a while. That's just stupid. Let's talk about this very edited screen, hopefully. I remember to do that. Gotta block out all my information, you creepers. No, this is about shipping. And this is kind of a hard one. I know what you guys want me to say, and I know what I want to say, but then I think about it a little bit. So let's talk about this. This is Cthulhu Death May Die, A Touch of Providence. It is CMON's comic Volume 2. Essentially, they have all these comic books that they also have all of these minis and cards, and essentially a mini expansion. Essentially, it's an expansion to the board game, and they put some comics in there. But they really focus on the comics, which is kind of interesting, because I think a lot of people get it for the board game expansion, but whatever. And there's Twilight Imperium, there's Cthulhu Death May Die, there's Hate, there's all sorts of stuff here, so feel free to check it out. Again, there's a link down in the description below. The shipping. As you can see here, to purchase 6 investigators with their cards and everything else and the comics cost me $30. To ship it cost me $36.43. That is right, the shipping is more expensive than the item. That's ridiculous. That, like just fundamentally, it shouldn't cost more to ship something than to buy something, right? It's just silly. So I'm not actually going to dive too much into that concept, because one way to solve it is just to charge more up front. Okay, so if it's $36.43 as a minimum, this is to the United States, then just charge $40 for it, right? They get to make up how much they're paying, how much they're charging you. So I don't want it to be we're gonna put the price really down low and then get yelled at for it. Okay, let's just raise up the price so it's technically more than the shipping. But there's more to it than this. And I kind of want to talk about this, because if you look over here, well, bam! This is Zombicide Invader playing Prometheus 3506. Just about the same, right? So they both cost $30, and they both cost about $35 to ship. So both more. Now let's go ahead and dive into what each of those are. Here's the Cthulhu one, and you see, you get 6 different investigators, and then like there are cards and stuff like that, right? This is the Zombicide one. You get 5 survivors, so 1 less, and they're about the same size as investigators. But then you also get these giant minis as well. You get 2 Abominations and 1 APE-002 Serve Bot and stuff, plus all the spawn cards, equipment cards, missions, stuff like that. This is a bigger box. I guarantee when you get it, this is a bigger box than this. I guarantee it weighs more too. So why is the shipping here, and the shipping here for -1 of these guys, but then +3 big guys, plus, various other stuff, the same? You would think this would be more, unless they're kind of normalizing it, right? Which is fine. There's nothing wrong with normalizing shipping, and in fact, I think you should, in theory, normalize shipping across kind of your product line, and you just need to raise enough, right? And then make it as fair as possible for things, right? So I get that, but at the same time, what I think is going on here is a pullback from the sticker price. So when I talk about it being $30, I'll talk about it being $40 or whatever it is, right? My feeling is that, and this is a lot of companies are doing this, where they could put more, in other words, they could charge X amount, right? You see this on eBay all the time. It's like, oh, look, this is only $10. It's normally $20. That'll be $30 in shipping, normally $20 in shipping. In other words, they're putting the cost in the shipping. We've been doing that on eBay since A++++ became a review thing back in like 1999, right? I mean, like, this is like old school. I get it. We all have seen this before, right? I know if you've been on eBay, you've seen that, right? It's the real cost put into shipping. And I feel that's what a lot of this is to artificially reduce the cost that you're seeing, the sticker shock, right? So when I see this, all I'm seeing before I click pre-order is $30. Because they have a lot of that kind of stuff in shipping. But then when I click pre-order and I sign up for it and I do all that, I am now invested, mentally speaking. All the marketing mumbo jumbo, there's been tons of research on this, and there are whole people's jobs it is to figure out how to get you to feel attached to something. And adding it to your cart is definitely one of those before you see the shipping. So I don't know that this is going to over double when I do it. If I did, right, if they just showed $63 free shipping, I'd be like, heck no, I don't want that, right? Like, that's ridiculous. I wouldn't buy this for $63. What? That's more expensive than a big box expansion that's $50 at the retail store MSRP, right? Like, no, thank you. I'll buy that on sale for $38 and support my friendly local gaming store. No, $63 for 5 minis plus, 3 Abominations. I'm not even saying that. Look, if that's a good deal for you, I don't care. I'm saying that's why they show you 30. Right? And a lot of companies do that. And it's not even just necessarily like manipulative in that sense. A lot of it is just like freight, right? We talk about freight a lot, right? That's because some people include freight in the cost that you see, like every other product you buy. But on Kickstarter, somehow it's become semi-normal to pull that freight cost out so that the money you're showing that it costs is less because you've pulled it out and put it into here. And they'll put customer support costs into there too, right? They'll put various insurances and all sorts of other stuff that normally is in the cost of the product into shipping. So I think it's just more of a hamstring into the shipping thing more than anything. My opinion, you let me know. Either way, I don't want to pay more than what I bought the thing for shipping, just at a fundamental level. That's kind of gross to me, but whatever. And then of course there's this one too, right, which hurts me because I love hate, and I highly encourage you guys to get the comics any way that you possibly can. However, $50 for 2 minis plus that is very, very rough. Very, very rough. I'll leave it at that. Okay, let's move on. Monumental reprint plus new expansion, African Empires from Fun Forge Sorrow. If you recall, I covered this like 2 or 3 years ago. It's like been like forever. That's because it was going to deliver in April of 2021. It is still not delivered. Let's talk. This is an interesting one, and a lot of you guys have mentioned this, and you've been waiting for me to talk about it. Let's talk about this one, because this is a recent update, December 8th. Okay, important announcement regarding delivery. First of all, great title for the update there. I appreciate it. I don't appreciate all of the updates, and I'll talk about that. Okay, so let's see. They were wanting to deliver first quarter of 2023. However, they will need a little more time. They hope to do it before the summer of 2023 now. Originally, it was going to be April 2021, right? Okay, so we understand that this is frustrating and upsetting. Yes, definitely. Okay, so it says, if you follow the Namaji Kickstarter campaign, you know that FunForge found a way to pay for the extra costs. Okay, so if we go here, this is updated 4 months ago, because if you look at the actual updates, it says, as I said in a comment, that we found a way back in September. Well, what the heck does that mean, right? In fact, let's go ahead and take a look at that. Let's find which one that is, because it's ridiculous. I know that much. Let's see, here's September. In the comments section, beginning of September 1, I shared that FunForge found a way to pay the extra cost for the ship fulfillment of Namaji. But it doesn't say how. How did you do it? Where is that? Why is it in a comment section? And why is your update just saying in a comment section, beginning of September? First of all, that works okay, September 22nd. Then I only have to scroll down and load more and load more and load more a little bit. But it's now 4 months and you never put it in an update. So I had to go and scroll down, which is exactly what I did 4 months ago. Look at this scroll bar, guys. Hold on, look at this. This is what I had to do to find it. And you know what I found? You know what I found? If you have a pause, why did it go full screen? I don't even know. It's now full screen. That's ridiculous. Let's not be full screen. Let's scroll all the way down to that stupid comment. It's September 1st that I had to find, and I found this. Before the next update, I can announce that the last shipments will be completed soon, as we found a way to pay the extra cost for the fulfillment of Namaji. What type of communication is this? Is this your communication person? Charlotte, look, thank you for writing words on the internet, but for the love of God, first of all, don't have anybody ever search a comment section on Kickstarter. That is, you're welcome, everybody watching, for wasting my time to show you that waste of time of an update. So let's talk about this, the whole found another way. What the heck does that mean? What did you sell a kidney? Did you sell a kid? What are you doing? Did you smuggle some drugs up a border somewhere? Like, you take out some personal loans? Did you just sell your retail stuff? What'd you do? Did you rob a bank? I don't know. You should be communicating better than this. Not even just, like, okay, jokes aside about the comments thing. Like, you can't just say, like, we found a way. Because, first of all, that doesn't build confidence because you haven't said what that way is. Right? You're finding a way could be, hey, we launched another Kickstarter, right? Or hey, we started selling, it to like to retail before backers. There could be all sorts of stuff. Hey, we decided just to cut out all the miniatures and deliver you just a whole bunch of cardboard and cut out pictures. Not even standees, just we just drew the pictures. We didn't even print them, right? Like, I'm not saying you did all that, right? Because you do allude to retail and stuff like that. In fact, if we go back here, we talk about, it'll talk about how, hey, this is our burden, we're doing this and we're doing that. And hey, we sell a lot of stuff too, so we're using that to slowly gain funds. But that is so convoluted, and I'm inferring things and I'm trying to find understanding because you don't just spell it out for me. And that's ridiculous. You need to do better than that. That being said, the communication gets worse. It gets worse. Look at this. Look at this. From now on, so you know, there will be no more monthly updates. We need to focus on retail sales to start the fulfillment as soon as possible in 2023. Again, that's me inferring that that's what they mean by found a way, the same as Namaji, which was mentioned in a comment on September 1st, 2022, 4 months ago at the time of recording of this video. I repeat, we don't sell Monumental. Our small team will continue to focus on urgent priorities to meet that goal. And then, of course, as soon as we have a fulfillment plan to share, I will release an update here. In any case, we won't start shipments before giving you all the details via an update. We'll release a plan for each geographical area at least 1 month prior before anything starts. Before that, no update will be released on the KS page. Thank you in advance. So, first of all, if you had monthly updates, then where the heck is November's? Right? Like September or October 27th to December 8th is technically more than a month, right? And if it's monthly, as in like calendar month, and not just every 30, 31 days, 30 and a half days, I don't know what the heck you want to call it, right? Like there was no November, first of all, so it had already been a while. And if you were supposed to deliver in April 2021, then you need to have updates. And this is the biggest thing. First of all, if you could read any of this and you want to tell me what any of this says, by all means. But yeah, I don't know what the updates in English, and then there's a whole lot of stuff here. Is this what you mentioned? That looks like a lot more. What the heck is that? I don't even know. Like, pick a language, dear Lord. Okay, so this is the big one here. That said, I won't take time to release updates that will be useless. I cannot stress enough to you, Charlotte, if you're watching this, or if you're told this by somebody else who watched this, or whatever, how unuseless it is, how useful it is to give constant updates when you're behind. It is so useful. The fact that you think it's useless, I know it elsewhere, I don't know if it's a comment in the update, whatever, she mentions being a backer as well. And I don't know what kind of things she backs or how late she's been. Like how much, if she's backed one that's been late or whatever. Or maybe she's just one that doesn't care. I don't know. I know obviously if you work for a board game company, you're going to feel a little conflicted and different than a normal backer that is just wanting a board game. But to think it's useless to have an update, that's why people ask for updates, because they're wanting to know that even if it just means, yeah, we're still working on it. The fact that I'm this frustrated that you won't even say straight out, what's the plan? How are you getting it? Not just, we found a way. Information is important. Clear communication of that information is important. If you don't have anything to say in a month, then just say, we're still working on it. Here's our plan. By all means, have a graph saying we need this much money. Other companies, your competitors have done this when it comes to shipping and raising money for shipping. They'll have a graph that says, we need this much. We're this far. We're this far. We're this far. You can share that. Share how far you are. How much do you need? How much are you getting there? How quick are you? That allows people to get a lot more information. Maybe they'll be like, you know what? I don't think you'll be somewhere. You know what? I think we'll do it. Or, oh, hey, maybe if I participate in this, I can help out. If your retail sales are helping, let people know because they might buy through you. There's all sorts of benefits you can have to that if you actually talk to the people that you owe a game to. Instead of just saying, hey, we're going to go figure some stuff out. Don't worry about it. Don't ask questions. In fact, peace out. We won't speak to you again until we have it. Does this mean if you're not going to have any updates before that, does that mean that come summer of 2023, if you don't have it, you're not going to tell us you don't have it? You're just going to keep being quiet for what? A year, 2 years, 3 years? If you never deliver, we would just never hear from you again? It's the stupidest thing to say we won't talk to you. I don't know what they're thinking. I get that people in these small companies do jobs or roles that they may not be fit for. But I'm going to call it here and now that I feel that they have the wrong person writing updates for their Kickstarter or really communicating with their customers. Okay. Now I have a little bit of experience as I've actually managed a support team that deals with customers. And in fact, customers having issues, right? Where we had the survey, how do you feel about this and all this kind of stuff, right? And just communicating properly is so key. It's so key. I can't fathom saying we're not going to talk to you anymore. I just can't. I don't know what universe they think they're from, that they think that communication is useless because there's tons to share. This is where you should be talking more, not less. Anyway, let's end on a good note. Sankokushin. Okay, this is a Facebook update. Surprise! Since we decided to postpone the launch to let everyone recover from this season's expenses, we want to take advantage of the extra available time to extend the game testing. Always a good thing. Do you want to play Sankokushin? Well, follow this link. I'll link down to this down below, of course, for you guys. And then by September or December 24th, you want to subscribe. You'll pick 12 people from that. Contact them. You guys will be able to play Sankokushin before everybody else. That's right, even before me. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I think that's awesome. I think it's exciting. One thing I will say is I don't know how I feel about the variety of art in Sankokushin. I actually like most art I have seen from Sankokushin, but it does range in style quite a lot, and I think that's kind of interesting. I think an artist should do what they're strong at, but I think it is interesting to see the range of art. I don't know. It's kind of interesting because stuff like card games, like Magic the Gathering, right? They always have like a group of artists, and sometimes they are very different. So I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but sometimes it seems to be very different than others to me. But anyway, that's cool. That's exciting, and hopefully, it says that there'll be content on January 1st, 2023. Hopefully, it's not that much longer until we actually see the Kickstarter. That's the hope. Maybe you'll playtest it during the campaign itself, and you can share your thoughts. I would love to hear them if you have them. All right, guys, that's it. That's all I have for today. Guys, thank you so much for watching. And I'll have a big update coming up covering all of 2023. I got the fundraiser to launch. That'll be coming up soon. I got a whole bunch in store for you guys. I just created a sweet top 10 list, and I'm going to be partnering with another YouTuber to do. So stay tuned for that. Of course, there's that subscribe button for that. Have a great rest of your day. Take care. Bye, guys.